I first saw Drop Dead Fred way back in the early 90s when it came out. I think I went to the cinema and saw it, and I watched it a couple of times during the 90s. It's one of those movies I liked aspects of, but other not so much. And this feels very much like a kind of fable of a storyline. We get Phoebe Cates, who plays Lizzie in the movie, who is a troubled child at the start of it. She has this imaginary friend, Drop Dead Fred, played by Rik Mayall, who is chaos incarnate, who talks Lizzie into doing the most outrageous things that just aggravates her mother. Not so much her father, but really aggravates her mother. And we get to a point later in Lizzie's life where everything has just collapsed. Her car's been stolen, her purse has been stolen, her husband has left her for somebody else, she loses her job, and she has to move back home with her oppressive mother. This mother who doesn't seem to have a mothering bone within her body and is constantly putting down Lizzie, treating her like an invalid, somebody who's incapable of doing the simple things. And as she's back home at the lowest of her low, she discovers Fred again, and he is back causing utter chaos within Lizzie's life, but hopefully going to make everything better for our girl. This is a really odd movie. You know, you have the story of this girl who is never truly happy, who never really takes charge of her life, and we have this imaginary friend who's hopefully going to let her break free of this constraints by doing the wildest things and letting her know that it's okay to be a little bit crazy. It's okay to take charge and do strange things, because if that's what you want to do it. But we also have this parent who is really horrible as a parent. At one point she tells her daughter that she just, doesn't love her as much as she used to. And that's when she's like 6 years old at that point. You have the relationship between the mother and the father, Lizzie's parents in this, who you see in various flashbacks that almost fall apart, not because of the daughter, but more because of the actions and how the mother perceives them and relates to them, and how the father's just like, she's just a child, let her be. And that kind of breakdown of the family unit. And it's a movie that I could never really get my head around. Rik Mayall, I think, is really energetic and fun in certain pieces. He's really aggressive in other moments. There is this constant carnage that follows him wherever he goes. There's some really nice special effects. There is some really awful ones. I like the moment where his head gets stuck in the fridge and is all elongated and flat and weird, and it's just fun. And then the parts where she sneezes and he's bouncing all over the walls just seems a little bit trite and uneasy. We also get storylines of her friends, Lizzie's friends, in the form of someone she knows, Carrie Fisher, an old friend, young boy who moved away when he was very young, who loved Lizzie because of her free nature and attitude to life. And they all get interacted or dealt with Fred, and it's one of those movies that wraps up in a really neat bow. You know, everybody has a positive outcome, with the exception of the mother, but she is almost like a pantomime fairy tale wicked stepmother type character, who does nothing good and is always detrimental to our character. Phoebe Cates is really good, and one of the things I like about this weird movie, which I can't wholly recommend, but I do somewhat, it is the garish outfits that they wear. Throughout the movie you have Phoebe Cates, who's always dressed down, who's made to look dour, who wears oversized clothes that don't really show much figure or anything. She's treated blandly, almost like a child, and seeing her kind of break free of that and becoming the woman that she wants to be is somewhat uplifting at moments. But Drop Dead Fred is one of those really weird oddities from the 90s that never quite works. But there is some fun to be had with it. There is some moments where you're like, who is this movie aimed for? 5-year-olds, 30-year-olds? There is risque humour in moments throughout it. There is just potty mouth and silly moments throughout it as well. But I kind of like this mismatch together. I think Cates and Rik Mayall have great chemistry together. And I really do kind of like the movie, but can see faults in it at the same time. It's a strange one. I would love to know your opinion of Drop Dead Fred. If you've seen it, let me know in those comment boxes below. And I'll see you next time on Man v Film.